we've cleaned the guitar, we've polished it, we've cleaned our fingerboard and oiled it, we've tightened the tuners down, we've checked the buttons. Now what we're going to do is restring it. I've got a great set of Elixir nano webs here. These are a medium gauge set. We really like these here at the factory. I'm going to put these on the guitar. Now, we install the strings into the bridge all at one time. So come a little closer here and we can show you how we do that. What we're going to do is, you can see the hole in the bridge there, obviously all 6, and we've got the string pin. I'm going to take the string, slide it into the hole. I'm going to take the pin, go with it, and pull it, and that locks it in. Okay? I'm going to do that to all 6. Same thing here, all the way across. Now the reason we do this like this, it's twofold. One, it's going to keep the pins from flying out on us when we're stringing our guitar. And 2, it's going to keep these ball ends from rattling. A lot of times on guitars when you're playing it, the ball ends will rattle, and guys want to know, where is the sound coming from in my recording when I'm playing these soft passages? So by making sure that's seated up against the pin plate, you'll be set. You won't have that issue. Okay. Did you hear that lock in there? All 6 of our strings are in there. I'm going to reach in here now, and I just want to do a light touch and see. Yeah, all of them are touching the pin plate. I feel really safe about this. Another thing we do here at Taylor, all of the strings, if I'm going to put the low E on, I'm going to cut it at the A post. Okay, and what that does, so here's my low E post. I'm going to cut it here, and that allows me the right amount of string. Okay, so here's how we do that. I'm going to come up, I'm keeping tension on the string, I'm going to manipulate the string. If you notice, there's always tension here on the string. I'm going to come up into the post. You see that? And I'm immediately going to start turning it. Now notice I have tension. I'm holding it. I have tension here, and I have tension here. All my winds are going to go underneath each other. That string is on, and you can see I have about 2.5 winds. That's the right amount of winds for a low E string. We're going to do the same thing to the A, and we're just going to repeat the process. So if I go to A, I want to cut it at the D. So here we are at the D for the A string. I clip that. I'm going to come up once again, get it in there. Now, see the tension I'm putting? That's going to keep this from sliding out on me. And I'm going just underneath each wrap. We do that for 1, downward pressure at the nut. It's very important. And 2, keeps your guitar in tune. If you have winds over winds, the guitar is going to keep playing out of tune, and you're going to think you have a problem when really it was just poor installation of your strings. Now, we're going to come up to the D, and we're going to imagine that there's another post. We'll clip it right there. Same thing. Manipulate the string. Got the G. Now the G has the thinnest core, so I'm going to go a little bit longer. And the reason I do that, it allows the string to get past the bell curve here of that hole, because that's right there. If you get a shot of that, that's where the string breaks, especially on the G, because it does have the thinnest core. So you want to make sure that that's nice and clear. When we're done here putting this string on, you'll see what I mean. So now the very last wind of the string is past that little curve here that you can see right here, that little cut angle. So what that's going to allow is you can detune it and tune it several times before you put any fatigue in the string. Come up to my B string, cut it at the G post. Same thing. Now with all of our strings on properly, the downward pressure at the nut is correct, and we're going to get really good sustain out of the guitar, and that's a big part of an acoustic instrument. Now, we're ready to tune up the guitar. You can get your digital tuner, your chromatic tuner. I use a tuning fork. Now I'm going to set it on the bridge. You hear the ringtone. Now, because we locked our strings in, notice that our bridge pins are still seated. Nothing's popping up. Everything is sitting right where it's supposed to be. Now, I didn't try to put it perfectly in tune now because what we have to do is stretch our Elixir strings. You need to stretch every string, but you definitely need to stretch them. Now, how I do that is this. I'm going to lift up here, right at the sound hole. This allows me to get my hand in here. Now, I'm going to work this way. Okay, just a light little stretch. What that allows is the string gives a little bit of stretch all the way up, and now it's going to stay in tune, and we call that stage ready. Okay? You can see how flat those strings went. Now our strings are on, we're in tune, but what we want to do is we want to really make sure that our neck relief is correct. There's a very simple way to do it. We're going to use the guitar string. The guitar string is always straight and something that has to be constant. That's what we always say here. So what we're going to do is this. Come on up here and I'll show you what we got. We're going to go with the first fret here, okay? And I'm going to come up here also to the 14th fret, if we can get that. Now I'm going to tap right in the middle of the fingerboard here. And there's just a little bit of tap. That is the right amount of relief for a Taylor guitar. Okay? If you have any more than that, you'll either want to loosen the truss rod, and that would be by turning it to the left, or tightening it by turning it to the right. And I'll show you that here real quick. I'm going to take out these nuts here. Okay? And there is your truss rod nut on a Taylor guitar. Okay? It's a 1/4-inch nut driver, and it's very simple to adjust them. What you want to do is this. You put it on, turning it to the right. Okay? If we turn it to the right, it's going to tighten the neck and draw it backwards slightly. If we loosen it by going to the left, it's going to draw it forward. Now, this one is correct, but what I'm going to show you is how we can make it perfectly straight. I'm going to draw this just a little bit to the right. Okay? Now, we're going to do that test again. First fret, 14th fret, a little bit more. There's a little bit of tap, and that's what I want, but I want a little less. Perfect. Do you hear that tick? I don't know if you can get that, but it's a little tick right there. That's telling me it's perfectly straight. If I didn't get that sound, it's telling me I'm backbowed, because remember, the string is straight. It's telling us what is straight. You don't need to use your eye. The string's going to tell you. But on a Taylor guitar, I want to back this off just a little bit where we had it, because this is getting ready to go out. Once again, right there. That's what I'm liking, just that little bit. I'm happy with that. Put our truss rod cover back on, and this one's ready to go. Slide it in here. Do one quick wipe down. Any fingerprints? This guitar is ready to go on stage. Now I hope when you change your strings next time, you give this a shot. Elixir strings here are absolutely fantastic. Stay in tune, play well. Give it a shot. I know you can do it. It's easy.